We had a fabulous 2 nights in our secluded camp spot, and to be honest, we didn't really want to leave. Now that's the problem when you find a perfect place, having to leave it. Mike and I have got really good at sorting the packing, and it doesn't take us long, and we can be ready to go pretty quickly. We drove back up to the main road and started to make our way to Osh, but with one more stop on the way, near a place called Jalalabad. The roads were dusty, dirty, corrugated for much of the journey. But with these views and valleys that were just simply beautiful, we didn't mind the roads. And it wasn't long before we did hit some asphalt, but we knew we wouldn't have the drive for long on this beautiful road. We didn't complain. We knew that the Pamir highway was going to be much the same. What was there to complain about anyway? We were driving through a country that just kept giving and giving. We were blessed. We would often pull in on the journey, admire the surroundings, stretch the legs, sometimes a quick snack or a drink. But with me and Mike, it was a time for us to swap drivers. I tell you what, I wasn't letting Mike have all the pleasure of this drive. We swapped at the perfect time. I now had all the asphalt. As we made our way towards Osh, the conversation in the car was about our next adventure. Now, the reason for Osh was to prepare ourselves for the Pamir highway, a journey that we had watched lots of people do on YouTube, and now we were going to make the dream come true for us. The journey on this road was uplifting, not just because the road was asphalt, but simply because of the magnificent panorama we had of this valley. How can you not love this country? Was it what we were expecting? Do you know, I don't really think it was. We had watched so many YouTube channels. We'd looked so many posts on Facebook. Now, this was real. We could actually see it for ourselves, and it was far more beautiful than we imagined. In Kyrgyzstan, it doesn't matter whether you are low in the valleys or high up in the mountain ranges. Around every corner, there is a view that will certainly take your breath away. The frequent stops ensured we could just sit and be. Sit and watch, sit and take in the journey that we were on. We had learnt that the roads in Kyrgyzstan can change very quickly. And if you're climbing a mountain pass, you're not necessarily going to be blessed with a smooth journey. As we climbed the rugged mountains, we did talk about the journey a lot. And we talked about the Pamir highway and what that might offer us. Would it be the same type of road? What would the views be like? Would they be sheer drops? How high were the mountain drives going to be? But we knew that the roads were perfectly safe. They were, in fact. what we were driving on, the main road. There were room for 2 cars most of the way and plenty of passing spots. I think this day had to be one of our favourite drives. We were on a road with hardly any cars, and it felt like we were the only ones around. Well, Len, Julia, Mike and I. We were having the journey of a lifetime. How lucky were we?
Well, it's the night before Osh, and we found a great spot. I overlanded again. I'm really good at that. And we're just parking here for one night. But the trip here was absolutely spectacular, and you would have seen some of that by now. Not totally unexpected. We knew it would be good, but not off the scale world class. Absolutely brilliant. I think Kyrgyzstan is a fantastic country. If you haven't been, you have to go. So, but anyway, it's a beautiful spot that we're in. There's a bit of a river down below, but I think what's happening is that they're building the roads. You would have seen the roads as a bit of a working area. And so the river itself isn't as clean as I think I would like to see it. However, you hear the sound of the water, so that can't be bad. We had a bit of rain earlier, but it's been beautiful now, and Osh tomorrow.
As Mike said, we'd only had one night here by the river, and once we were packed and settled, the kettle was out, we made a cuppa, played cards, and we talked about the journey. Normal routine. All of us blown away by what a stunning journey. And when you see the drone footage now of the valley that we're camped in, you'll realise how lucky we were. Good night's sleep, breakfast eaten, packed up and on our way. On our way to Osh. Possibly 2 nights, as we needed to plan and make preparations for our entry into Tajikistan. We had a couple of hours on the dirt track before we were down low in the valley and driving through the small villages, often with families just stood outside waving us on our way. On this journey, we did talk a lot about the Pamir highway, because we're about to start it. And it's always been on Mike's bucket list. So you can imagine the excitement and anticipation was certainly growing in the car. Now, the Pamir Highway is in fact the M41 from the Soviet Union road system, and it officially starts in Osh and officially ends in Dushanbe. There are some unofficial diversions that you can take, but essentially the total length is about 1,200 kilometres, and it gets its name from the Pamir mountain range throughout Tajikistan. After Osh, we were heading for Lenin's Peak, a mountain that crosses the border of Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. It sits proudly at 7,134 metres high, and it's part of the Pamir Mountains. The road from Sarimogul to the lake in front of Lenin's Peak is about 21 kilometres, and it takes you a good hour. But what a drive. You see the peak standing proud in the distance, and the anticipation for a perfect camp spot yet again was real. We parked up by the lake and took in the beauty. We stopped here for more nights than we'd planned, but we were more than happy to stay here. We did a lot of walking, and Julia and we even made the journey across to the other side of the river, and we nearly touched base camp from where the hikers actually meet to climb Lenin's Peak. Now, Lenin's Peak is considered to be one of the least technical 7,000 metre peaks in the world, and most ascents of any peak over 7,000 metres. But there are hundreds of climbers who attempt it annually as well. Not us, though. We left that to others. Mike got higher than myself and Julia and Len, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy his drone shots. We certainly did. Wow, Kyrgyzstan. Thank you for the journey and the experiences. We really hope that you've enjoyed them too, and we'll see you in our next country, Tajikistan. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We do really appreciate your support.